welcome everyone. We got this song by Boston, Smokin. It is great song. I looked it up. 45 years old. 1976. How about that? You know, better late than never with the lesson. Lots changed. All right, I'm going to talk about the intricacies that he does throughout this. There are some things that are really important to carry to the next measure, whether it's the verse into the pre-chorus or whatever. So we'll talk about that. I've written out my notes. They're always available down below the video with the link. So you can download it and follow along. The song goes pretty fast. So again, I use Riff Station, which I have a link to also below, where you can load the song in and slow it down a little bit. And that definitely helps. No solo in it. There's an organ solo with some vamping. I'm going to cover exactly what he's doing during the vamping. I'll even give you an idea what to do if you don't want to remember all the little parts in the recorded version. And we'll go through the song next. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. By the way, the inspiration come from, I learned that Amplitude 5 in the Joe Satriani module has a Rockman in it. So I'm just using a Rockman. I took out any amps or any other variables with it. So this is a straight Rockman. I did take the input down. Let's see, where did I go with that? The input, I went to just +4 instead of +8 dBs of gain. It seemed to be too much gain, but I left the echo on, the chorus on, and I took it off of distortion to edge. Volumes maxed, and those are my settings if you have a Rockman. Okay, the song basically starts out with an A power chord, okay? We're going to be playing the 5th through the 3rd string. The key to this is moving back and forth between the 5th string. When you play the 3rd and 4th string, the 2nd fret, the key is upstroking that, okay? And that will get you with your timing. So we got an open 5th string, and then pull upstroke on the 2nd fret of the 3rd and 4th string. 5th string again open, and these are kind of palm muted. And then we're going to come up twice on that 3rd and 4th string. Now we're ready to go down on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, hammering into 4. And the other key is we're going to catch the 3rd string at the 2nd fret. Alright, it's real key to the timing and the tone. Alright, so slowly, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, that repeats a total of 4 times. On the 4th time in the intro, the drums will enter. And then we'll do it 4 more times. Alright? So in the 2nd measure, on the what you would consider 8th time, if you want to count it, we're going to just stay right there and go into a D power chord using the 4th string and 3rd string always. 3rd string will be 2nd fret going up to 4. So we're going to hit the open 4th in the 2nd fret twice to the 4th fret and back. So we're just hitting the again, it's the open 4th string, but with open 4th string with the 4th fret of the 3rd string. So just a rock and roll rhythm. We're going to hit it 1 time without anything, and then again another set. Another set. Then we're just going to hit that 2nd twice, and then we're going to catch at the 5th fret the 4th and 3rd string. Alright, so slowly together, 1, 2, 3, 4. twice, hitting that third string second fret. Alright, back into our D rhythm. Now we're going to do a half measure of that lick. The second time through, instead of hammering on 3 to 4 on the 5th string and going to 2, we're just going to come up and catch the 6th string at the 3rd fret with a slight pull down. Alright, so that second half of the measure after the D, E chord. And again, I wrote this out, kind of timed it, because there's an E chord hit once and then twice real close. Then what we do is move up to a D power chord. Alright, we're going to hit that twice and then together real quick, and then once more not as quick. And then an A power chord. Alright, so we have this so far. I'm going to take it from the pull down G. Then we're going to come up to an E power chord, hit that twice, not real quick. And then a C power chord, hit that together twice quickly, and then to a G and D. So that really covers the intro and the first verse and pre-chorus 1. Now the second measure of the pre-chorus starts when we do the E. Alright, the second half of that pre-chorus, as I call it, we'll do our lick 4 times. All right. So the second half of the pre-chorus will be our lick, intro lick, if you will, 4 times. And that will lead us right into the chorus. So I'm going to go through this at a little bit medium tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop there. So notice how we go from, again, like I mentioned, that second fret of the 3rd string right into the lick. So for the lick of the chorus, what we're going to do, of course, we're jumping up and then we start right in with it from that pre-chorus. We're going to go on the 3rd string, 4th fret with a bend, release, and pull off to 2. And then we'll catch 4 on the 4th string. Then we're going to hit an A power chord twice. We'll do that same lick, but we'll hit a D power chord the second time. Alright, and then we go C to D, 2 hits each. The second D will slide back. And then we're going to do this lick. So the lick, once we come back C twice, we're going to be on the 4th string, 2nd to 4th fret, quick hammer on and pull off, and hit the 3rd fret of the 5th string. And then an A power chord twice, the first time. Alright? That's the first measure of the chorus. The second measure, after we hit our second A, we're right back into the lick. Then we change, rather than hitting A twice at the end, we go A to G. And I'm just doing a partial G. I'm not hitting the top half, so I'm hitting basically the 4th through the 1st string. Alright, so the second half measure of the chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're into what I'll call the tag. The tag is basically 4 more times before we enter the second verse of the intro. And we'll do that 4 times, and then we're back into, like I said, the second verse where our D comes in. And so forth. So that'll lead us to our pre-chorus 2, which is just like what we've learned, all right, including the next second half of that pre-chorus, which is all right, 4 times. We'll end on that 3rd string and go into the second chorus. This second chorus takes us into the organ solo. So the second measure of the second chorus will end with our A power chord to a G power chord and then to a D. And that D starts our vamping with the organ solo coming in. All right, so I'm going to take it from the second chorus, and we'll go into the D. The organ solo. So that's the difference in the second chorus. Again, it's in my notes. I'm going to go over the organ solo. First off, I'll teach you how to play the vamp without any extra notes or anything, in case you have a band and want to cover this and not worry about the little extra stuff. Okay, so for the organ solo, we're going to come up to D and vamp on that. Or C and D, I should say. We're just going to play the 4th and 3rd string. 5th fret, 7th fret, all right? When he does vamp, there are some licks there, but if you don't want to play the licks, you just want to keep the timing. It starts out with 1 and then 2 more on the C to 2 on the D, and then start over again. So we got this. Is hitting that C and then the A string open, and then 2 more C's, and then 2 D's, and then starting again. Alright, so that will be the vamping, if you will. Alright. So let's go over what they do during the organ solo. All right, so it's going to start out with 2 C's, and then he's going to hit 1 more C before he goes to the D, back to the C. Then our 2 C's, and then you'll hear this. All right, it's 7 bent up and released to 5, pulled off to 5. Hit 7 on the 4th string, and then we'll hit the C chord again, then our A root, and then 2 more C's, then our A root, 2 D's, 2 C's, then we're going to do 2 of these 7/5 pull-offs back to 7. Start over again. The next lick you'll hear will be hammering on to the 6th from the 5th fret of the 3rd string. Alright, you only does it a trill, so it's a quick 6 on, 6 on again. And then he does that lick. Back to our C. Then a note, and then 2 more C's, and then 2 D's. Then 1 more C. And then we're going to take it up to the, I did this, you can do this at the 4th string 5 to 7 with a hammer on and pull off trill, but it really sounded better up here at the 1st fret, or 2nd fret, I should say, of the 3rd string. Because then we're back into a different rhythm for the organ solo, which we'll go over next. Alright, so I like to think in blocks, if you will, that make it easier for me to get it all in my head. So I'm going to show you the first block. I'll start with the trill. Hit the A twice, add the 4, back to A. Alright, so that's, think of that as the first block. The second block will go like this. Alright, so we're hitting our A power chord, then we're going 3, hammer onto 4 on that 5th string, and then we're just hitting the 2nd fret of the 4th and 3rd string. So think of that as the second block. Alright, so we have this so far. Alright, the third block will be just like we did up to this point in the intro, the 2-4-2. Alright, so I'm going to take you up to that block again. 1, 2, 3, 4. To the 7th fret on the 4th and 3rd string, and then the 5th fret. Alright. Alright, so we're going from a D to C again. So all together with the 7 to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have those blocks all together. Now, we're going to do basically for the second half of this measure, because there'll be a total of 3 of these, okay, all together, 3 of these full measures. So the second half of the very first measure is exactly the same. To that point, to the 2, we're going to add 5 into the mix. All right, we're going to go 5, 7, back to 5 on that 4th and 3rd string. All right, so that second half of the measure, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that 5, 7, 5 happens pretty quick, all right, but it's there. So let's take this whole first measure. I'm going to go in from the trill. 1, 2, 3, 4. Starts again. So that's one measure. We'll do that 2 more measures for a total of 3. The very last measure, which we start winding up the solo, all right, is very similar to the first 2 blocks. Do it again. So we're into the 4th measure now, so we're repeating those first 2 blocks twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then what we're going to do is this. basically an A power chord twice, C power chord twice, D power chord twice, back to C power chord twice, and end on the A, which just holds, and then we start the vamp on the A string muted. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're into the A vamp now, so we'll talk about that next. Alright, so now we're going to palm mute the A string, okay? And the key to this is timing and picking, okay? They're going to do this total of 16 times, alright? But again, if you go with the feel of the music, you know when it's going to change into the chords. But the key to it is it's like a slower 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up again. All right. So look at our picking: 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a quicker 1, 2, 3, 4. We end up, and we're going to go up again. That's what can throw you off with the timing, that extra up. Okay? So if you really take this slow and work on it, 1, 2, 3, 4. Really work on that, and next thing you'll have this. Okay, so again, it just takes practice, especially, you know, getting that timing down. We'll do that 16 times. All right, so if you're following my notes, the first chord is A sharp. Then we're going to go to A, G, and then walk back up to our A sharp. All right, each count is 4 until we get back to the A. So we're going to come back, start with our A sharp, and then the A, G, A is 2 counts each. And then we're going to start walking down from there. We're going to go to G, F, and E. Alright, so let's take that. This is all on the 6-string root, just power chords, because again the organ's playing specific chords. But we're able to follow along with the power chord. So we'll start with our A sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, from there we're going to go to a 5th root D note. So we'll slide up to 5. You want to start, we're just using single notes here because that's what they do in the recording to give it some vibrato. So we're going to go from the 5th fret to the 3rd fret to the 1st fret, or B flat or A sharp, but because we're going down, we call it an A flat, okay? So music theory, if you go up, it's sharp. If you're coming down, it's flat, okay? So we'd have A sharp, or if we were at B, it'd be B flat. All right, so we got. All right, now we're into a 5th root power chord. This will just be A, then B, with 4 counts for the A. The B will get 8 counts, and then we'll end on an A power chord. So after that, again, I've written this out, we're into a little lick that, so we'll go over that next. Again, It's cool how they change this up, and we're coming out of the organ solo, if you will, at this point, and we're going to stop and let them do a couple licks, and then we're into the pre-chorus. It's funny because the song only has 2 choruses. Everything after this, the organ solo and so forth, goes to pre-chorus, verse again, and then 2 more pre-choruses to take us out. So the structure's a little bit different. I really enjoyed putting this together, and of course had fun with the tone. I just had a blast with this because, you know, it's kind of a Van Halen. Like Drop Dead Legs it reminded me of. But anyhow, all right, let's go through the next lick and chords, and I'll show you how that goes. So this is another really cool part of the organ solo with some guitar doing some movement. What we're going to do is go up to the 8th fret, all right, play basically on the 1st and 2nd string, hit that and slide down. That's a C. All right, then we're going to move to a E power chord. We're going to add the 4th fret, 5th fret back to 4 and 2 on that 4th string. But it's how you do it that keeps the rhythm. Alright, so again, we're going to be pedaling on that 5th string. We'll hit it again semi-muted before we hit the chord. Difference is at the end we hit 2 to 4. So then we start again. Alright, so all together at a medium tempo, it's 3 times, that's what we do it total. 1, 2, 3, 4. So after that 3rd time, we're going to come up, hit that 8th fret twice, slid away. Then we hit it 5 more times. And then we're into that D rhythm. Alright, and we stop on an A at that point. Okay, so we know the D rhythm. We just stop at the A. That's the first organ solo. Alright. After that, we'll do our D lick again, stop at the A. That'll be the 2nd organ lick. Second organ lick. Now we're into the pre-chorus. We go into that intro like 4 times, then we're into another verse. Alright, I'm calling this verse 3 after our 3rd pre-chorus because we're coming into the D lick and our 4th pre-chorus. So I'll take it from the last half of the 3rd pre-chorus. At that point of the pre-chorus, we're going to come back into our intro lick again, alright, which basically goes through normally 4 times, but we're ending the song, alright. So to end the song, The fourth pre-chorus, we'll do our intro lick 3 times. The fourth time, we'll do the grab on the 6th string into another pre-chorus. And so forth, okay? The difference again, we're ending the song, the 5th pre-chorus that we start again has a few more chords in it, or hits on the chords, I should say. All right, so I'm going to go from the 4th pre-chorus, start that, and then come into the 5th pre-chorus and end. All right, so we this. Alright, so the 5th pre-chorus, which ends the song, will basically have the D hit 4 times before we go to the A. So we got our E with the typical 3, and then 4 times on this D to an A, then our E twice. Our C will be 3 times before we go to the G, D. Now we'll do that last lick twice, hitting that 3rd fret of the 3rd string, 2nd fret. The last time through, we're just going to hit the A twice. Another 2 times of an A power chord hit down and ending the song. Alright, so I'm going to take the very last pre-chorus with the little extra hits. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got the song. There it is. I really hope that helps everybody. Again, download my notes. That'll help you. That's why I do this. So enjoy.